Hi, I'm Aray, a high school senior from Kazakhstan. Before I get into the project, I want to share a bit of information about myself. I love hiking, I'm an amateur figure skater. I'm also an advocate against period poverty in my region, where it is still kind of considered shameful to be openly talking about women's menstrual health. But mostly, I just really like building stuff. A while back, I was one of the 4 young women from Kazakhstan chose to participate at the Tech Girls program, which took place at Virginia Tech University. There I had the privilege of working alongside Dr. Kallstrom on a research paper where I applied my skills in Python for modeling. And that's honestly where I started actually loving code and not just, I guess, tolerating it for class. So the story is that last year, me and my friends have noticed something in the agricultural field of our country, Kazakhstan. Most farmers here make decisions based purely on their gut feeling and not on any real numbers. And it's costing them revenue they don't even realize they're losing. So me and my friends have decided to try and fix that, and that's how Scan came to be. I'm going to walk you through Scan, an app that turns raw soil sensor readings into actual fertilizer and crop advice for farmers. The idea starts with the hardware, which is a soil sensor one of my teammates built using 3D printer. So the sensor reads nitrogen, phosphorus, potassium, pH, moisture, temperature, humidity, and electrical conductivity. Those readings get sent over to a backend I built with Fast API, a Python framework which exposes a simple REST API to receive and serve that sensor data. From there, it goes down 2 different paths. The first is a large language model I'm calling DeepSeek through OpenRouter's API, and I feed it to the sensor readings directly, asking it to generate plain language soil care advice. So instead of a farmer seeing just like raw numbers, they get an actual paragraph explaining what's going on, with their soil. And the second path is where I trained 3 separate classification models using scikit-learn's random forest classifier. One predicts overall soil health, one recommends which crops are actually suitable for that soil, and one predicts the specific fertilizer needed. Each one runs through a proper pre-processing pipeline, scaling the numeric features, encoding the categorical ones like soil type and crop type. And I trained this using real data sets that you can see here. Those are very huge binary files, so they cannot be displayed. And once trained, I serialized them with joblib, so the backend can just load them and predict instantly instead of retraining every time. On the front end, I built the whole thing in Flutter, so it works across Android, iOS, and even desktop from one code base. And since this is meant for farmers in Kazakhstan, I localized the entire app into English, Russian, and Kazakh. This last part here basically ties it all together. So once the model tells you which fertilizer to use, the app links you straight to where you can actually buy it, whether that's a local supplier or an international one. We ended up securing the support of Kazakhstan's Ministry of Agriculture and presented at a bunch of local startup competitions. There's a part that I want to focus on more, because I feel like to me it mattered more than all of the technical skills I gained during the project. So I feel like a lot of people in tech or in startups, myself included, get so focused on building the smartest or the most impressive solution that sometimes we miss whether anyone can actually use it. So recently I did customer development the right way, which should have been the first step from the very beginning. So I called more than 70 farmers myself and went to meet a few in person. What I found was that digital literacy of our target audience is really low. And these people, they aren't going to open an app with drop downs and ML predictions if they've never really even use their smartphone for anything beyond calls and, I guess, messaging. Rolling something like this out takes time, and the design of our app has to be so much more simpler than what we built. So at Onsen, this is what I want to keep working on. I want to rethink Scan's design while keeping accessibility as my main priority and not like an afterthought. And I really want to connect with the artists and the content creators there, because that's exactly the kind of thinking that I'm missing. I know how to train a model, but I don't know how to make something feel welcoming to someone who's never really trusted that kind of an app before. And I don't know how to reach people that Scan is actually meant for. And I'm hoping that people there at Onsen can teach me that. Thank you for your attention.